In this video, we will learn how to calculate deadweight loss on account of the imposition of tariff, okay, by an example. So let us have a domestic demand function as Q is equal to 100 minus P, and we have domestic supply as Q is equal to P minus 10, okay. And we are also being given world price, okay. We need to calculate the deadweight loss, okay, when there is the imposition of tariff, okay. So let's say and the tariff is equal to $15, okay. World price is 25, tariff is 15, okay. So to calculate the deadweight loss, we will see our scenario in case of no tariff, okay. So let us first to draw the graph here. So I will show it here, okay. So we have quantity here, we have price on this axis. Let's trace this demand curve, that is Q is equal to 100 minus P, okay. So when P is equal to 0, Q is equal to 100, okay. And when Q is equal to 0, 100 minus P is equal to 0, or 100 is equal to plus P, so P is equal to 100. So we will get here 100 and 100, okay. Similarly, we have supply curve as Q is equal to P minus 10, okay. When Q is equal to 0, P is equal to 10. That means the intercept of supply curve will be 10 here, okay. Now we are also being given that world price is $25. Let us say we have this very thing, okay. We have world price is $25. Now what is the consumer surplus when there is no tariff? Consumer surplus is simply this area, this whole triangle, okay. The area which is above the world price and below the demand curve gives us the consumer surplus, okay. So in this case our consumer surplus is equal to, so we are calculating consumer surplus when there is no tariff involved. We are not talking about this $15 tariff this time, okay. So we will talk it later. So what will be our consumer surplus? Consumer surplus is simply the area of this very triangle, okay. To calculate the consumer surplus, we need to find out these pointers also, okay. So when price is 25, what will be our supply, okay. So our supply is Q is equal to P minus 10. When price is 25, Q will be equal to 25 minus 10, which comes out to be 15. So we will have here 15 at a world price of 25. Domestically supplied quantity will be 15, and corresponding to this $25 as world price, what will be the quantity demanded? So we have Q is equal to 100 minus P. So Q will be equal to 100 minus, what is the world price? 25. That gives us 100 minus 25 is 75. So corresponding to this, we have 75 as quantity demanded, okay. Now this gap denotes our imports, okay. Since quantity demanded is 75, quantity supplied is only 15, so the difference between these two gives us the magnitude of imports. And what is our consumer surplus? Consumer surplus is the area of this very triangle, okay. So consumer surplus is simply what is the area of a triangle? One half base into height. So one half of what is the base of this triangle, that is 75. 75 into what is height of this triangle, 100 minus 25, which is 75 again, 75. And this comes out to be, when we solve, this comes out to be 2812.5, okay. And what is producer surplus? Producer surplus is simple, the area which is below the world price, okay, below this world price and above the supply curve. This area denotes our producer surplus. Its area is simply, this is also a triangle, so its area is 1/2 of what is base. Base is 15, and what is height? Height is also 15. So 25 minus 10 is 15. I hope I make myself clear. So we will have a producer surplus of 112.5. Okay, and what is the total surplus? Total surplus is simply consumer surplus plus producer surplus. Okay, so this very triangle plus this triangle gives us the producer surplus. Okay, so producer surplus, so when we add these two things here, we will get 2925. That means 2925 as total surplus. And what is the importers? Our importers is simply 75 minus 15. Okay, 75 minus 15, which comes out to be 60. Okay, so this is the situation when there was no tariff involved. Now when the tariff is being involved, okay, when tariff is being involved, our world price, okay, let me write it here, case second, with tariff. Okay, with tariff, our world price will be, world price is equal to old world. Let us write it like this, new world price. Okay, new world price would be uh, okay, let's write it, new world price will be equal to world price, that is old world price plus tariff. So world price was $25 plus we have a tariff of 15. This gives us 40 as new price. Okay, so we will have new price of 40. Let us draw it here. In fact, let me use this color this time. Okay, so we have 40 as price when tariff is being imposed. Okay, now when price is 40, what is the magnitude of production? That means how much is being supplied at the price of 40. Simply, this is our supply function, q is equal to p minus 10. Price is 40, so we have q is equal to 40 minus 10. This gives us 30. Okay, so corresponding to this price, domestically 30 units are being supplied. And what is the demand at 40 as price? Just plug here. So q is equal to 100 minus p. This is our demand function. So q will be equal to 100 minus the price is 40 this time, so 40, this gives us a 60. Okay, corresponding to this we have 60 as quantity demanded. Okay, I hope I am making myself clear. So when the when price is 40, quantity supplied is 30, and quantity demanded is 60. Okay, now we need to calculate the consumer surplus. Okay, what will be the new consumer surplus? Let us assume that this does not exist, this line. That means our world price is this, our consumer surplus will be this very triangle. Okay, this very triangle. That means our consumer surplus is equal to, so the area of this very triangle is simply 1/2 of what is base. Base is here 60, so we have 60 into height. Height is 100 minus 40, that is also 60. And when we solve 60 60, 3600 upon 2 is 1800. 1800 is our consumer surplus. What is producer surplus? 1/2 of, So our producer surplus, if you can see here, producer surplus has increased. Initially this was our producer surplus. Now this value triangle is our producer surplus. Now its area is 1/2 of what is base. Base is 30, so let me write here 30 into what is height, 40 minus 10, which is also 30, and this comes out to be 3, these are equal 900 upon 2, which is 450. And what is total surplus? Total surplus is simply producer surplus plus consumer surplus. Add these two things, you will get you know 400 1800 plus 450 are the that is 2250. Okay, rather we will also calculate the government revenue on account of tariff. Okay, so when tariff is being imposed, what is the revenue that government will get? So this rectangle denotes the government revenue. Okay, so let me first rub this out. Okay, so we need to calculate the government revenue. Okay, so now government revenue is simply how much is being imported. So 60 minus 30 is 30 units are now imported when tariff is being imposed into the tariff rate. Okay, government revenue is simply tariff rate or na logan spelling tan give mistake import is times tariff. Okay, now how much is being now imposed imported? This very stuff 60 minus 30. Okay, so this is 30, and what is the tariff rate? That's 15. So this comes out to be equals 0, 3 5s are 15, 3 1s are 3, so 450 is the government revenue. Now total surplus will be equal to consumer surplus plus producer surplus plus government revenue, and this comes out to be now shat arda shat now shat, so 2700 is the total surplus. Okay, now the question that I primarily asked is, or that I want to calculate here, that was dead weight loss. Okay, so dead weight loss is the loss on account of the efficiency. In this case, what is the dead weight loss? You can see here total surplus is here before the imposition of tariff. This is our total surplus. After the imposition of tariff, this is our total surplus, and here we can clearly see there is decrease in total surplus. Okay, now here dead weight loss is simply equal to change in total surplus. Okay, so change in total surplus. Okay, so what is our change in total surplus? Originally it was 2925, and now it is 2700. So change in total surplus is equal to this value minus 2700. So you can see this comes out to be 225. Okay, so change in change in total surplus gives us the deadweight loss. Okay, and deadweight loss is simply 225 units in this case. Okay, so the difference between the surplus before and after the imposition of tariff gives us the deadweight loss. Graphically, deadweight loss is the area of this triangle and this triangle. Okay, these two triangles denote our deadweight loss. Okay, so how can we interpret this very triangle? So this triangle, or this shows us or I can say the reduction in the consumption associated with tariff. Okay, and it creates deadweight loss. Okay, consumers who should be buying a true price, okay, at this price, but they are not buying them at high price that is created by tariff. Okay, this denotes our deadweight loss. And how do we interpret this value triangle? It shows these units are being sold, or these units are being produced at a cost greater than they otherwise could be. Okay, so this triangle is the deadweight loss. This also denotes the deadweight loss. Okay, so this is how do we calculate the deadweight loss. Now we can see here gain. If we want to calculate dead weight loss by another method, so dead weight loss will be equal to the area of this triangle. What is the area of this triangle? So it is simply 1/2 of base. What is base? 30 minus 15 is 15. And what is height? 40 minus 25, that is also 15, plus the area of this triangle, that is 1/2 of what is base here, 75 minus 60, that is 15, into what is height, 25, 40 minus 25, this is also 15. Okay, so this comes out to be 1/2 of 225 plus 1/2 of 225. So 1/2 of these two gives us 225. Okay, if you want to calculate like this, you can also see uh, the dead weight loss being created. Okay, so this denotes the government revenue. Okay, and let's calculate other things here also. Now gain to domestic producers. How much domestic producers gain to producers? You can clearly see that there is transfer of surplus from consumers to producers. Okay, so producers gain. Initially we were having this value triangle as the producer surplus. Now it has increased. Okay, it has actually absorbed a part of the consumer surplus. Okay, so gain to producers, to the producers, is equal to 450. That means this 450 minus 112.5, so this comes out to be 337.5. This is gain to the producers. And gain to government revenue. Okay, I have now space, I have not space here, so I will write it here. So government revenue is simply which we calculated. Initially there was no government revenue. Okay, now initially there was no government revenue, but after the imposition of tariff there was government revenue. So this is equal to 450 minus 0. So 450 is what government gets as the revenue. And also loss to consumers. Loss to consumers is simply, so initially, finally they are getting 1800. Initially they were getting 2812.5, so this is 112.5. Okay, so consumers lose 112.5. And net benefit is simply, you can calculate net benefit here. Sorry, this is not correct here. It should not be like this. 1800 minus 2812, it comes out to be minus 1012.5, something like this. Okay, so this is the loss to the consumers. Okay, so if I can draw this here also. Initially what was the situation? Initially this was our demand curve, this was supply curve, this was world price. Okay, so initially this area denoted our consumer surplus. Okay, and this was producer surplus. Only two surpluses were here. Okay, now when tariff was imposed, let us draw it again. Okay, so we have this line. Okay, After tariff was imposed, producers surplus has increased to this amount. Okay, consumer surplus has decreased. Okay, and let us draw it like this. Okay, and these denote the deadweight loss. Okay, so this is it. How do I try to explain to you people? I hope I make myself clear in this video. Thank you.